Good morning, 5-minute devotional, Wednesday morning. Today we're going to talk a little bit about prayer. Again, this is actually my second devotional on prayer, but there's an element of prayer that I think I know that I leave out most of the time, and I have to make a conscious effort to remember to do this. But let's just jump right in here to Matthew 5, Matthew 5, verse 43. Here we go. Teaching about love for your enemies. You have heard the law that says, "Love your neighbor and hate your enemy." But I say, love your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you. In that way, you will be acting as true children of your Father in heaven. For he gives his sunlight to both the evil and to the good, and he sends rain on the just and the unjust alike. If you love only those who love you, what reward is there for that? Even corrupt tax collectors do that much. If you are kind only to your friends, how are you different from anyone else? Even pagans do that. But you are to be perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. So, okay, pray for your enemies. That's something that I don't just automatically throw in my prayers if I don't think about it and remember it and make a point to do it. And so you may say, well, enemies like friends that aren't friends anymore. I'm talking like ISIS. I'm talking like, I don't know what side everybody's on, but if you're pro-Trump, then pray for Hillary. If you're pro-Hillary, then pray for Trump. Pray for Obama. Pray for Putin. Pray for North Korea's leader. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but pray for those who are doing evil in our country and in the world, and don't just pray for God to teach them a lesson. Pray for blessings for them. Jesus told us that the commandments can be summed up with these two things: love God above all else with all your strength, mind, body, and soul. And number two, love your neighbor as yourself. Love others as yourself. So any blessing that you might pray over your family or your loved ones or yourself, pray that over your enemies. Pray that over the leadership in countries that are communist or socialist or whatever. Pray it for our presidential candidates. Pray it for Obama. Pray it for that person at work that's just nasty and mean and hateful to you every day. Pray it for that person. I like the idea that even corrupt tax collectors love those who love them. But what sets us apart as Christians? Why are we different than the rest of the world? We're different because we love. They will know we are Christians by our love. There's a song about that, and that's a missing element. I think that a lot of us come up short with. I know I do personally, as far as pray for enemies. That's where I'm lacking. But try to include that in your prayers this week. I thought about this a little bit last night, and when Jesus was on the cross, after he had been beaten and spit on, and his clothes were ripped off, and basically just treated as poorly as you could possibly be treated, on the cross, being heckled and laughed at and jeered by the people there, Jesus said, "God forgive them, for they know not what they do." Now, that's the example we need to follow. As true children of your Father in heaven, Jesus prayed for people who would just beat him within an inch of his life. He prayed for them. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He's asking for forgiveness for people that were his enemies at that point. So can you do that? Could I do that? Not in our own strength. We know that. In our own strength, we can't do a lot of anything. But in the power of the Spirit and through prayer and supplication, we can do that. We can pray for our enemies. And if it's one of those step up things that you're going to have to do, like, all right, I'll pray for my enemies, but I'm just going to pray something minor that their children or something. Start there, and then work up to where you can bless those enemies the same way you bless your son or your daughter, your husband or your wife, your grandchildren. Bless them in that same way, and see the change that's going to happen. I'll tell you what, if the whole world did it, we'd be in a lot different boat right now. That's the encouragement today. Pray for your enemies the way you pray for yourself, just like the Bible tells us to do, just like Jesus did on that cross. All right, tell somebody about Jesus today. Love somebody recklessly. Give me the prayer requests. I'm lifting up. I had an additional one added yesterday, so I've got three prayer requests that I'm lifting up right now, and I'll continue to do those. Amen. Love somebody crazy today.